Talking to Timbers goalkeeper James Pantemis, who earned MLS Team of the Week bench for the previous week. Congrats on the honor. Seemed like your best save against Austin was that free kick against Brendan Vasquez. What's run through your head as he's approaching the ball and as the ball's in the air?
Yeah, I mean it was an interesting situation at first. I think there was a couple guys that lined up around it, and I was just trying to situate whether I wanted, to put my bigger guys in the wall and then maybe have some cover as well if there was a cross. And I saw him stand there alone. I said, okay, I'm figuring if the striker's gonna go, he's probably gonna have a shot on goal, and then just honestly just try to stay honest as much as possible, and then just do what we do in every day in training. We work on that.
Who's the best free kick taker you've gone against in MLS?
I mean, in season, I would have to say probably Higuain when he was with Miami. No, yeah, Gonzalo. And then, yeah, I would say probably him. He would always go short side, so you had to really be honest on that one.
How are the distribution patterns different in a three at the back versus a four at the back, like you played last year compared to the start of this year?
Yeah, it's a bit different. I mean, obviously we worked through it a lot in the preseason, but for us as goalkeepers, we're asked to be a little bit higher and a little bit more on the left, especially since I'm a lefty. I'm kind of creating the back four now. I'm the left center back per se when I have the ball, so at times I'm a bit outside of my box to the left, so we have to make sure that we're very accurate with our passing and make sure we're not losing it. But it demands a little bit more communication with the middle center back. So in the last couple of games it was Zach, so making sure like we're playing off his shoulder, making sure he's on the right, I go on the left, or vice versa. But a lot of communication, and then I think a little bit more running on our end, but nothing that we can handle.
How's a goalkeeper can you kind of comfort a back line that has never really played together? Ian Smith making his first MLS start, Finn Sermon just making his second that game.
Yeah, I think once again, I think communication is key. Like we have guys that don't have that much experience in the league, but have played big games. Like Finn has obviously, played in the Olympics, played probably bigger games than an MLS game. Obviously Ian, like we had mentioned before, came out of college and he's been super. But the biggest thing for us is just encouraging every little play, every little action, whether it's a block or a good pass or a nice clearance with a header. Making sure I'm there behind them and just tapping on the back and say, hey, well done, let's go. We keep going, and then just encouragement, communicating, and then we'll get through it.
Sure, it's on the scouting report for you, but do you ever throw teams off with being a left-footed goalkeeper?
Maybe. I'm obviously if they're watching film, they'll know. I'd like to say lefties tend to do it a little bit differently than righties. Like we could maybe put a little bit more whip on it than normal, but I don't think it's necessarily throwing it off, but it just gives a different picture. And if they don't know, then it's a bonus for us. And if they do, then we'll just have to find solutions.
Yeah, speaking of the three at the back, Jimmer Ford has done a pretty good job at left wing back so far. There was a moment in the second half where you guys kind of had an embrace. How's your Spanish been, and what were you telling him?
Yeah, we just, we actually got a sheet in the locker room a couple of weeks ago to give us like direct word translations, like, soccer terms and all that. I have my Duolingo going too, so I kind of really know more or less what to say. I think in that moment, if I remember correctly, it was just, I think their wingers had switched sides, and their winger at that point was a very right foot favorite, and I was trying to explain to him, I said he's always going to go on the right foot, he's not going to left, so just force him inside. And in my broken Spanish, we kind of got through with that one.
Who's got the best English on the team that you wouldn't think it?
Out of the Spanish? Santi, he hides it, but he could have a conversation.
Let's go back to people who speak the native tongue. When you're have your back towards Timbers Army, what are some of the most common things you're hearing? What are some of the craziest things you're hearing?
Pants is a big one. Jimmy pants. I've heard take your shirt off pants. And I'll give them like a little bit of a this, but with my Under Armour under, nothing, like no skin. Those are always fun. Yeah, a lot of pants. I'm waiting for someone to throw pants. That would be the highlight. I mean, not really wanting anyone to take their pants off, but I think that would be the next level of intensity in that nickname that I got.
Nobody's really seen him more than you in training, but how's it been going against David Da Costa and his shooting and dribbling throughout the training sessions?
Yeah, he's great. I mean, whatever you see in the game is what you see in training on a daily basis. I mean, he's very, very clean on the ball. He's very good on free kicks as well. He's kind of surprising when we had that session at Providence Park last week before our first game, or now 2 weeks ago now. He stepped up and burying them on the free kick, so he could hit the ball, he could cross it, deliver. It's good. We need guys in the pocket that want the ball, that want to create, and he's that guy.
How different is the French he speaks versus the French you speak?
I'd like to say that I could kind of change my French, so I'll be able to speak French like Max, for example, and me, because I'm technically from Quebec and Montreal, but I could also speak French like David does. It's more, I don't want to say more proper, but it's just more, it flows nicer, I find. Like Larice was like that as well with his French, so I could play both.
When you were at Montreal, you got to go to Nashville a few times. You played them last year at home as well. Do you like that stadium? Do you like going against Hani Mukhtar and your national teammate and Jacob Schaffelberg?
It's actually, it's funny because it's going to be my first time playing at that stadium. The 2 years ago when we had gone there, I was injured, so I didn't have the chance to go. And then before when we were playing when they were at the NFL stadium, the Titans. So it'll be my first time in the stadium, but it's always fun playing against that team. There's some good guys there who obviously quality, like you said, Mukhtar. You have Surge up top, Zimmerman, very dangerous on set pieces, Schaff as well. We know what he could bring, and these are exciting games. On the road, we're getting a good pitch, good environment, hopefully, and another tough game, but we're up for it and we're ready to go.
Best of luck versus Nashville.
Thank you.